and they know that. Otherwise, they would be part of the group.
Exactly, but not only is Glenn-Beck trying to take on my political colorations of a patriot, a constitutionalist, your colorations, Ron Paul's, but at the same time, they're also trying to block us and make us look bad and throwing stones at us occasionally. And it's just very, very frustrating because they have children too, and I guess they just think they're on the winning team, g-edward-griffin.
Well, I guess that's it. And right now, if we're going to be perfectly objective about it, they are on the winning team, at least for the short term, not in the long term. But right now, we're looking at the next couple of years, maybe the next 2 elections or so. Yeah, these guys are coming up smelling like roses because they've got the mainstream media. And unfortunately, we're still at this point in America where people follow their media opinion leaders. So that's it right now. And so what else is new? Let's get back into the battle and change it.
And that's why your long-term view, where you get 60% turnouts for the dominatrix Palin, or 60% for the Harvard drug head Obama, why don't we get 60% turnout locally? Why don't we take the counties and cities over? Because when you study the global collectivist, they're putting almost all their energy into local takeovers. We've got to take it back. Stay with us. We're almost out of time with g-edward-griffin. I just wanted to get him on with all that's happening in the economy. g-edward-griffin, I don't think we're good enough at tooting our own horn. I mean, we're good at tooting Ron Paul's horn, and he deserves it. I try to, point out the great work you've done for half a century. But, I mean, we've been right about everything. Collectivism, the central bankers, the world government, the exact formula of world government, how it would be announced, what it would look like, because we were reading their documents. And we know what the next act is in the play if we don't stop them. And so I just want to say here to you that I think we need to point out more just how right we've been, and that we're so busy, covering the latest info, we don't have time to go back to our old films or books or shows we did 10 years ago. But I think listeners should go through all of those and put them on YouTube and point out to people just how right we've been. Isn't that our ace in the hole, that the system tried to deny that we were right, but now people are really listening to us because they remember us laying out what was going on?
Well, right on target, Alex. I think you're quite right. And I know I'm probably the worst promoter, the worst marketer for my own stuff. It's kind of a combination of being a little bit shy about it and also being pretty stupid, I think, because, we do have to do that. I think one of the strongest reasons that my book on the Federal Reserve System is selling better now than it ever has. The sales, I can't believe it, are just continuing upward. One of the reasons is because when I wrote the thing, and it was published back in 1994, I had a chapter in there called a look into the future, a pessimistic scenario. And it sort of was a whimsical view of what could happen if we stayed on the track we're on. It said, we're heading for a certain place, and this is where we're going to go. And I laid out literally everything that has happened since I wrote the book. All of this meltdown, all of the bailouts, all of these incredible expansion of the money supply and everything, including some of even the language. I just dreamed it up. I said, now, if I were a slime bag politician trying to cover this up, or a banker, what language would I use to make it sound good? How could I spin it to make it sound good? So I just invented phrases and things like that. And I'll be darned if these guys today aren't using the same phrases and words that I dreamed up. So people think, I must have had a crystal ball. Not so. Just as you said a moment ago, it's because we read their stuff. We know what they do. And so we also know what they're going to do yet in the future. And if that doesn't scare the heck out of you and get you off the couch and get busy, I don't know what would.
We got a lot going for us in the pro-human, pro-liberty movement. Something going against us, though, is there's now... The internet has empowered us to get our message out like never before, but it's also created billions of different voices. Everybody claims they've got the truth, but look at who really has it. Look who's been right, and look who has the giant audiences without government or Fox News backing. It's g-edward-griffin, it's Alex Jones, it's people like that. Because, I mean, I've got Rockefeller documents that we just found this week where they admit they create vaccines with a tetanus shot to sterilize women. I've been talking about that since the mid-'90s. I mean, we really do have their documents. And something else going against us is this stuff is just so over-the-top crazy. But isn't history stranger than fiction? I mean, as they've said?
Well, I can't think of anything more bizarre and more dramatic than the recent history of the world. I mean, when I say recent, I mean since I was born. I mean, it's been a wild Mr. Toad's ride, and I can't imagine any sci-fi author dreaming of anything more dramatic than the reality.
It has been a wild Mr. Toad ride, and the globalists would have us believe that weasels haven't taken over Toad Hall, but we know they have, and g-Edward-Griffin and myself and many others are together to retake Toad Hall now that he's doing a Win in the Willows parable. Let me say bye to you during the break. Your phone calls, and I promise all the news blitz coming up in the third hour. Stay with us.